Alright folks, welcome to another ICE video. We're gonna be doing some draft today. We're met with a pretty good pack, honestly. Like, this card is pretty solid. It's a 4 mana 4/4. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it with an ice counter, and then you can just cast it for as long as this guy remains on the battlefield, of course. So even if if it dies and you bring it back, I think you can still cast it. So it's pretty solid. Glimpse is excellent. Basically card selection and card advantage if you have any kind of giant or changelings. Snake over Island, solid. Sculptor Winter, solid. Probably, I guess I would be happy to first pick a Snake over Island. Maybe not so much a Sculptor Winter, but this is definitely first pickable. This is definitely first pickable. And overall, I think we're gonna go with the Necromancer. I've never actually opened this card, but it looks very powerful to me, so I want to try it out. And yeah, if this were in the pack, I would definitely be an easy Glimpse to Cosmos. But let's start off with the rare, see how things go. What do we got here? Well, here we have a very strong Ice Snow Payoff card. And even not even Snow Payoff, it's just better in the Snow deck mostly because you have like the possibility of ramping and stuff. But this is just overall an excellent card, very powerful. Since we already have a first pick that's black, I would be interested in Fearless Liberator, since black-red aggro, I think it's a pretty solid archetype. You want to like be doing Berserker things, so this guy doesn't do any synergies with Berserker, but I just think that Svella is just very powerful in the format. Basically, like, it just comes down to turn 3, the body's pretty solid as a 2/4, and then it starts ramping you by itself if unanswered and fixing your mana, and then it just represents in and of itself a win condition in the late game. So I think Svella is just too good to pass up here. This is one of the better, if not the absolute best dual land out of all the Snow ones, so this is also very good consideration. Bergstrider, excellent card. Death Knell Berserker is the only one in our colors, but I'd rather kind of like not really try too hard to be in black, I guess. What do you get here? Arnis Lazy Troll is on the same color combination as Vela. Very powerful saga. Basically, it's a fight spell on the first one. It grows your creatures on the second one, which are the two best modes, of course. And then finally, the last mode is kind of often irrelevant, but every now and then it will give you something. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's pretty strong. We're passing on Sculptor Winter, which is very good. Skemfar Elderhold is one of the better. I don't even know how to call this, like sack lands, like value lands or whatever. Master Skull is interesting whenever you have sagas. So us picking up Arnis Lazy Troll means that there's a potential that we will Master Skull, and we're gonna be happy about that. But I think we're picking in Arnis Lazy Troll. Sculptor Winter also very good if we end up in red-green, which it kind of looks like we may be. Let's see what we got here. Frostbite, solid removal spell. Behold the Multiverse, excellent card. I think we're going to go with this. It's just overall very powerful. We could try to stay on colors and go with Frostbite or Glittering Frost. Both are actually... Okay, I think I'm gonna go for Glittering Frost here, actually. It opens up into the Snow deck, even though Behold would definitely be very good in the Snow deck as well. But even if we don't end up in the Snow deck, just Glittering Frost or Frostbite will kind of fix our mana. This is good if you can make it into a Bolt. As a shock, it's okay in the format, but not insane. There's a bunch of X3s. But there also are a bunch of X2s anyways, and you can often just like make an attack, like attack your Svella into a 3/3 and then like finish it off with Frostbite. But definitely this is a very close pick. Let's go with Glittering Frost, see what we go from there. I think we're gonna pick a Lindworm here. This card is very impressive, and it kind of goes well with what we got going so far, particularly with the fight spell. This is one of the worst dual lands, so not particularly exciting. Asgard Cavalry is very strong, so we're gonna be definitely looking to wield this if possible. But I think that we want to kind of establish ourselves on green, and Lindworm is basically we are always gonna play the Lindworm basically regardless of what we do here. We're gonna have a solid start to a red-green deck, honestly. We may splash for the Necromancer thanks to the Glittering Frost, but yeah, we're hopefully gonna wield this or this. These are the two cards we're looking at. And Berg Strider. We're not on blue just yet, but this card is definitely very, very strong. What do you got here? Interesting pack. I'm not so much into Squash just yet because we don't have any giants. Though there are a fair amount of giants in red, and there are a fair amount of, I guess not a fair amount, there are like a couple of changelings in green, so that's an idea. We could also go for the Snowcover Island. I think that's actually what I'm gonna do. This starts to make us get a little bit closer to the snow deck. Again, we already have Glitter and Frost, so we're already kind of going there. And then if we manage to wheel one of the green 2-drops that we passed a couple of, maybe we can make better use of it. So I'm gonna speculate on these instead of the other one. Here we could take, here's the skull that I was talking about. We have a couple of options here, either Mistwalker or Craven Hulk. I think we're gonna go with the Hulk because we are in, we're basically red-green right now. I only made like one pick that is kind of a speculative pick. So I don't think I want to go with Mistwalker. Like if we wheel one of the snow payoffs, then I'm gonna be a lot happier about picking a blue card. But I feel like right now we are on red-green with the possibility of splashing, maybe adding some blue and maybe splashing black. But we're probably gonna be playing a Craven Hulk almost regardless, particularly with our fight spell. So not a great pack here. I think I'm gonna go with the dual land. It is off colors for now, and we have no white, but we talked about how powerful Skull could be, and we also talked about the possibility of wheeling and moving into the snow deck. I don't think I'm gonna miss a Breakneck Berserker. Like, this card is fine, but it's not mind-blowing, and nothing else in the pack really excites me. This card is interesting. I'm still not sure how to evaluate this card so far, but we're gonna see how it goes. I think I'm gonna definitely take that there. We did wield the Cavalry, which is great for us. Again, any deck where you have like these big dudes, the Cavalry, just giving them haste is a huge deal. And I'm definitely more excited about picking the Cavalry than this or even this. So yeah, they're very easy Cavalry here. What do we got here? Ranamok is great if we're gonna be aggro, which I'm not sure about. Lower reinforcements, it's just overall a fine card, so I guess this is what we're gonna be picking. It's just overall fine. Like, Foretell really is what makes this card playable, honestly. I just don't think we're aggressive enough to be playing Ranamoks. Like, it could be good, but I think I'd rather have Dwarven Reinforcements. It's just more flexible. Here, I guess we're picking the Elder Hall. Like, it's not great, but maybe like with a couple of Svella counters, or we just end up on Jund, and just with a couple of swamps, eventually maybe we can activate this. But like, I'm not excited about picking the Valkyrie here, unless you need a lot of snow to make this into a fine card. Raider Scarf is kind of okay, actually. We don't have much stuff that cruises just yet. We have Hulk. I guess we kind of do. Like, even Dwarven Reinforcement cruise this fairly effectively. So yeah, let's go with the Carve. Here we have not very good ones. This wheeling means that nobody's really playing an aggressive deck, so maybe we can end up in just like straight up red-green. Here, I don't think any of these really matter. I'm gonna go with the Courser, I guess, but I'm like not hoping to play any of these. Okay, what do we got here? Well, we're definitely picking Dragon King Berserker. This card is nuts. You can win the game by itself. It's a 2-mana 2/2 first strike, and then it has Boast 5. Well, you just attack and you create a 5/5 dragon with flying, and then the boast abilities of everything just cost 1 less to activate for each dragon. So you can use this, and then it costs 0 to like draw a card with the 3/2 card with the Fire Walker. Swamp, probably not for us here. Struggle, definitely very, very good for us. Obviously not as good as the Dragon King Berserker, but great card. Cardor Doomscourge is very, very good. And it kind of looks like we're on John right now, so we're going to be keeping an eye for this card. It could potentially be very, very good for us. So definitely watching out for this. And then we have like a bunch of just medium cards. But yeah, the Dragon King Berserker, there's a lot of stuff that we can wheel here. Struggle, Doomscourge, Gristle Outrider, and even Breakneck Berserker Mentor, we would be like okay with picking. Like, we'll be happy about any of these three and just okay with these two. So have high hopes for that pack. What do we got here? Probably a Dwarven Hammer. This is no, Carlos. Yeah, no. So we're gonna pick Dwarven Hammer over Squash, which we would probably play. Mammoth Growth, which we would probably play. Of note, we picked up a Craven Hawk, so this enables our Squash. That's the only card that we have so far, though. Dwarven Hammer is just a very, very powerful card. It literally just turns every single one of your cards into actual threats. And even Dwarven Reinforcements just becomes like a big deal. Like a 5-1, it's huge. So I think that this is going to be it. Dwarven Hammer here, looking to wheel either Squash, Mammoth Growth, or Glittering Frost, but hopefully Squash or Mammoth Growth. But yeah, Dwarven Hammer is great here. What's here? We have Masked Vandal, which is not bad. We have Snow-Covered Forest. We don't have really any snow synergies going on here. So there's no real reason to pick this. There's the pick. Speaking of picks, this card has very much impressed me, but we don't really have a good evasive deck so far. Although I guess that Dragon King Berserker wearing a pick is no joke. Mass Vandal is a significantly higher pick than I originally thought. The more that I play the format, the more I like this guy, and I just think that it's just fine to main deck your first copy. Maybe not the second one, but you're definitely happy about main decking the first copy. So I think it's between Vandal, Pick, maybe Snow Forest. I think I'm gonna go with Pick. Just like the 1-mana equipment is just so good. Let's go with Pick. Yeah, nothing else I'm particularly excited about in that pack. What's this? 5-mana, 5/5, a lot better than it looks. Don't underestimate this, particularly when we have access to Axgard Cavalry. Beholdine Multiverse, one of the best commons in the set. Unfortunately, we're not looking to be blue just yet. And I guess that if we're passing this Behold, we're probably not going to be blue. I'm not seeing the Snowlands wheel too easily, so maybe we just pick this anyway. And we try to get a second Glittering Frost. We're basically passing on a Masked Vandal here. I think that if Behold weren't here, I would be picking Masked Vandal. This, I think it's a very bad removal spell. I don't like this card at all. So I guess I'm just going to speculate on this Behold. Again, we're doing picking a little bit of speculative picks just because like this card is so good. But okay, what do we got here? We have a duel, but are not really, like, white is literally the only color that we don't care about splashing. I think we're just gonna pick a Mass Vandal here. Also, Vandal makes it so our squashes would be better, which is nice. So I think we're just picking a Vandal here, passing up on Mirror Lake, which is very good. But I think that Vandal is just better for us here. Broken Wings, also very powerful sideboard card. What do we got here? We can pick up another Changeling. We can pick up another pick. We can pick up a 5/5. Lots of options here. Troll is also interesting. I guess Troll is just very good. We have 2 Snow for now, but we also have Svella. So if we pick up the Troll here, we can start picking up Snowlands a lot higher. Okay. I think I'm game for that. We also have Glittering Frost to go with the Troll. Like now I'm a lot more excited about picking this up. It's basically an off-color green source, but that's fine. Like we have troll, like we have stuff that we care about now. Cavalry is also very interesting. Again, like especially like the 2 drops become a lot better when we have a pick already. 5 mana 5/4 that gets a Lindworm is not bad, not bad at all. But I think we're gonna go with tree. We could go with Bergstrider too, but I think I'm gonna take the land before the payoff. The black cards really haven't flown particularly nicely, so we could pick Skull Raid for the sideboard. This card is actually not bad. Like it's a lot more playable than previous effects of this. Mostly because the discard 2 clause is pretty important. Very often you can do this on turn 3 and you can force your opponent into an awkward spot. Like, do I want to discard my lands or hope that I draw more? Do I have to discard actual spells? Yeah, I guess we're gonna go with that. This is not a pretty solid payoff for Bean Snow. This is the pack we opened, by the way. Making a mentor. Just bodies to have the pick or the helm. It's not like anything else we're particularly interested in, so just go with that. Oh man, yeah, we didn't wheel anything of value here. That sucks. Getting cut a little bit. Mural Lake wheeling is kind of weird. Like, this card is very powerful. All you need is 1 threat and then you can double up. You can make your land can make like 7/7s. Like, this card is no joke. Also, this card is a lot better than I originally gave it credit for. Like, the fact that just like +1/+1, like that's why pick in Tormentor's Helm are so good. It's because +1/+1 breaks a lot of stalemates, which is a funny thing. Because like there's a bunch of 4/4s or like X4s and stuff like that, and then you can make your Dwarven reinforcements straight up very easily. So like just +1/+1 is just very good in this format. I'm just gonna pick this, hoping to not have to play it. Master Skull is interesting. We don't have that. Yeah, I'll pick the Master Skull there. We ended up not being in the best spot for it, but it's okay. Esika, God of the Tree. I've never opened this rare before. It's basically a 3 mana 1/4 Vigilance, Mana Dork. All the legendary creatures you control have Vigilance and tap add 1. So it makes all other legendary cards tap for mana. So far we only have Svella. Yep, just Svella. All the other ones are not legendary. Boreal Outrider is very good. Demon Bolt is probably the pick here though. Just probably the best removal spell in the format, so I guess we have to pick a Demon Bolt here. We are in red anyway. Hopefully we will this or this or this or this. This is a pretty solid pack. Like there's multiple cards in here that if we wheel, we're probably gonna be playing. We didn't wheel one of the Mammoth Growth, so we have to keep that in mind. But just Demon Bolt is just too bad to pass up here. And I think I'd rather have the removal spell instead of more creatures. Okay, what do we got here? Frostbite is probably the pick. Man, like the fact that all of these lands have been just snow-covered plains is brutal because this is the least relevant for us. Nothing else I'm super excited to actually play. Mammoth Growth is I would play, I guess, but that's kind of it. So I'm gonna go with Frostbite here. We're looking kind of like Rug, so Temur splashing black, I guess. We do have Glitter and Frost as fixing, and that's really it, honestly. Okay, let's pick Frostbite there. Tundra Fumarole. So this is basically 3 mana deal 4. Like the other class is not particularly interesting, but 3 mana deal 4 is not bad. Narfi Betrayer Arcane is amazing. It's very, very good. How many removal spells we have? We have 1, 2, 3 removal spells. So we could just pick the Narfi here. Narfi, Gross, or Svella. Glitter and Frost is kind of important for us though. This card is super medium. It's kind of tough to make work. Like it's fine. It's an okay card for sure, but it's kind of tough to make it work. I think I'm gonna go with Narfi here. Passing Tundra Fumarole, passing Bergstrider. Like Bergstrider is like a pretty reasonable pick for us. We have, I guess we only have 3 Snowlands. We do have the fixing from Frost and we do have the fixing from Svella, but Narfi is just very good for us. This is probably not an Ascendant Spirit deck, unfortunately. Definitely not an Invasion of the Giants deck either. We're probably going to go with Frost here. Morit is great, but double blue is not easy for us, I don't think. So Glitter and Frost is just the second copy helping us fix all of our mana. It's going to be great. Again, people really picking those snow lands pretty high. So I guess like maybe the person to our right is in the snow deck. So we're probably not going to wheel any of these. Bind the Monster is just meh. It's a lot worse than it looks. There's a lot of like sacrifice effects and you can still like use your creature to fight and stuff like that. So also damage is not irrelevant at all. But yeah, we're just going to pick a Glitter and Frost here. Fixes our mana. Speaking of fixing our mana, probably going to go with a Mire here over Glitter and Frost. Gristle Outrider, Horizon Seeker, Rootless View. All of these we would play. All of these we would be very, very happy to have in our deck. But this actually fixes our colors for, you know, for our black cards, and it's effectively free, so seems pretty good for us here. What do we got now? Another good dual land for us. We're probably not playing Saw It Coming. We would play, and again, Gristle Outrider. This card is good. We would definitely play the Glade Walker here, but like the dual land is just so great for us. Like it helps us fix our blue mana. Yeah, dual land's great there. Crush the Weak is solid. It kills our cavalry and our berserker. And I guess it kills our Dwarven Hammer tokens, but obviously you just like suspend it. Like I keep saying suspend. I'm always thinking about suspend whenever I see Foretell. It's just a fine sweeper, I guess. So I guess we're picking this. Run Ashore is excellent too, but our blue splash is super low. So we're gonna go with Crush the Weak, I think. Yep. Man, all the Snow-Covered Plains, like the only land that we wouldn't pick. This back's just bad. Just Broken Wings for the sideboard. This card is a lot better than it looks though. But yeah, like I'm always very, very happy to have my first copy of Broken Wings. Here, Mists is just kind of medium. We are a little bit short on creatures actually. We have 19 playables here. Yikes. Because we could play this as an 18 land deck, I guess. So either Mammoth Growth or Snakeskin Veil. Let's pick this Scald. And I guess we're just gonna splash white off of basically 2 free duels. Priest of the Haunted Edge. Probably not great in our deck. Unfortunately, this only counts for lands. This doesn't count for permanents, which is super weird. Like some of the snow cards count for lands, some of them count for permanents. It's very confusing. Speak a Yeti. Another Skull is interesting. That would be skull number 3 actually. So I guess I'm gonna go with either one of these. Because triple Skull seems like a little bit too much. We only have the 1 Saga. We do have like picks and stuff like that, but we could also have Raise the Draugr for the sideboard or Cinder Heart Giant. Let's go with the Giant, I guess. We might actually play this. Morit Wield. Yeah, okay, I'm playing Morit. Wow, this is great. Both of these cards are excellent for us. I think I'm gonna go with the 3-drop just to fix our mana and stuff. Like Horizon Seeker is just solid. Even if it's like a 3 mana 3/2 trade for something and draw you a card, I've been liking that card. I don't think our deck is a 3 Seasons deck. But like it's also not a cleric deck, so okay, let's see what we got here. We ended up with something kind of weird. We do have some serious bombs. Like Dragon King Berserker, I think is just it's just a huge bomb. We do have let's group creatures separately. So we have Dwarven Hammer, which is effectively a 5-drop creature, and we had something else, I think. Oh, the Reinforcements, which is a 4-drop creature. So this is 27 cards, so we want to cut 3 at least. No, we want to cut 4. That shouldn't be too hard. Like, for example, Helm, probably not great here. So we can cut the Helm. Go to Helm. Carve is okay. We could just like cut the Crush the Weak and just side it in. Just have it as a sideboard card. Behold seems great. I guess we did pick up a reasonable amount of creatures towards the end, so maybe we don't have to play the Yeti, which is I don't like this card at all. So happy to have that, to be able to cut that. We can cut that too. So now we should have effectively 15 creatures. 15 creatures and just some pretty solid spells. We have to take into account that, you know, we have 2 Glittering Frosts and we have 1 equipment and 1 vehicle. So this could also be kind of counted as a creature. But seems kind of okay here. Do we want a second Scald? I feel like the 1-off Scald is just fine. Like we can get back Arnie basically, and like if they destroy our Frost or a Golden Pig or a Raider's Carve, like it's kind of fine, but I probably don't want a second copy of this. So I'm just not gonna play any white sources, and we're gonna play Scald off of Goldwing Pick and Svella and the 2 dual lands that we did pick up earlier. So I guess that picking up these the random white dual lands ended up working out for us because we just get to basically play this Scald for free. We do have Demon Bolt, Behold. Our power level seems okay. Our power level seems pretty fine, actually. I think we're playing all of these lands. So we have room for 10 lands. So 1, 2, only 2 green sources here. So we're probably gonna need at least 6 or 7 forests. Of course, forests are always more important because forests, in our case, allow for Glittering Frost and Svella and Horizon Seeker. So we want to prioritize green sources just so, because some of our green cards just get our other colors. So we always want to prioritize green lands in this kind of deck. It's like kind of like the snow strategy, kind of how it naturally works. As far as red sources, we have 2. If we want 6 forests, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could play 4 mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 green sources, maybe 5 red sources. Seems super low. We probably need 6 red sources, which kind of locks us a little bit. We're definitely not playing a swamp. Gonna combine the groups. We're only splashing for 2 black cards, so I'm not too concerned about our black sources situation. We are technically splashing for this, but like we're playing this for free. Like this is just a forest that is gonna have an effect in the late game. Pick is gonna fix our mana, and so is Glittering Frost. Maybe playing Yeah, I guess our blue splash is also super soft. We do have the Morit, but Morit is anyway a late game creature anyway. But we're probably not gonna be able to cast Morit unless we have something else going, right? Like unless we already have a Svella going, or we have Glittering Frost, etc. Seems kind of okay. Like, I'm definitely stretching the mana right now, but I don't think I can do too much else to fix it, because I don't think I want 20 of my cards. I mean, right now, basically 20 of my cards are just mana, because Frost and Golden Pig are basically mana sources in a way. I think that we can just mulligan into to our mana fixing, I guess. Raider's card potentially draws us cards too. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with this. If we don't like it after the first match, we can of course make some changes afterwards, and I'm going to of course let you know if I do. But this is gonna be it for the deck building parts, and we're gonna see if we can do another one. Very on brand. This ice video is actually me drafting snow. So I'll see you for the first match. Alright folks, time for the first match with this spicy little number we got going on here. Perfect mana, don't mind if I do. I mean, not just perfect mana just yet, but this hand's gonna have perfect mana. I'm not worried. Oof, we even get to use your mana on turn 2. Pff, busted. We have a bunch of solid cards. Oof, look at this. Just great. For 2 mana, there's nothing my opponent can have for this cavalry, so I think I'm just gonna play the cavalry. Next turn, we play Glittering Frost. Swing for 2. Yeah, getting there. Boom. Perfect mana. Easy. Now we can swing with Craving Hulk. Opponent foretells. Let's keep it aggro, I guess, huh? 4, yeah. Does my opponent have a Wrath maybe here? Doomscar? Now we get to Lindworm them here. It's a lot of damage. It has to be a Wrath, right? Just a Scald. Scald for no value. Narfi? Yeah. I think we're just gonna jam it. This is just more mana efficient for us. Let's haste this. If my opponent wants to trade with the Craven Hulk, that's fine. They take 6. Next turn, we can either play Narfi or they just go down to 4? What's going on? So I guess they have a fight spell here, so that's why they need Skull to survive. That's the only reason that would make sense. Sure. It's not gonna be fast enough. Like, they put a counter on the Scald. Like, they need to fight here. If they don't have a fight spell, because we're just gonna, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's the only reason for my opponent not to do it. Something else there. We're gonna be fine though. We're just gonna Narfi and just swing for lethal. This card is very good. It's gonna make some black mana here. Play Narfi, haste Narfi, swing bows. You are dead. Boom. Wow, I've been really impressed by Axguard Cavalry in this kind of matchup. So my opponent's playing. If I told something else, it's weird how you had to show your manifest cards to show that they were manifests, but you could basically foretell, and you don't need to show your opponent whether the card has foretell or not. Like, they just trust you. So you would get a game lost if you would not reveal your manifests back in the day, back when that was a mechanic. But like, you're fine if you don't show your foretell cards. Like, that's fine. Very impressive draw we had here. So my opponent's probably playing like a banned snow with a bunch of sagas, which maybe means that we want broken wings. We could also want School Raid. I'm thinking that Broken Wings might be better than Frostbite. But I guess I don't really have enough information about my opponent's deck. Masked Vandal is going to be an MVP, I'm pretty sure. Like, this guy also exiles, which is a very big deal against our opponent's Master Skull deck. Let's make that switch. Huh. Opponent keeps 7. We probably have to mold to a better mana hand. Just like this one. Perfect. Let's keep this bottom the Scald. Yeah, bottom the Scald. I think we want to make sure that we have our colors. I'm gonna go turn 1 Fjord. That could be a fight spell, which would be scary, but just gonna Berserker here, and I think I'm gonna go turn 3 Frost instead of Heat Seeker, because that means that I can make a Berserker. I'm not playing around my opponent having the thingy that Iron Verdict. But now next turn we can make a 5/5 flyer. Wasted value. You love to see it. Well, here's a 5/5. Boom. This guy is just insane. Just randomly starts speeding out 5/5 flyers. That's so good. That is so ridiculously good. They put a counter on my dude. Oh, because this exiles with the greatest power? Wow. So they can exile my dragon. Let's think here. If I attack with both, I can Demon Bolt. Plus Seeker. Yeah. My opponent kind of has to block here. So what I do is I Demon Bolt their guy. Again, this could definitely be a fight spell, right? So this guy has first strike because just making 5/5s wasn't unfair enough. So we do that, and then I think I'm playing Horizon Seeker here. Although Troll swings harder. Troll hits harder here. I guess I'm playing Troll. Now they exile my dragon. kind of confused as to why they grew my dude. If they have Scald here, that's obviously good for them. And if they have Scald plus Fight, my opponent might actually be in this game, which is a crazy thing to say. And that's exactly what they do? No. Wow, okay, so we have a shot here. So they picked their thing back up. So we can pick here and equip. And my opponent doesn't have blocks. We can deal 8, bring my opponent down to 3, or I can play Seeker, which would be probably better. Can't boast this turn, we can boast the next turn. Alternatively, we can just play Cavalry here. I think I'm playing Cavalry because it means that my opponent cannot fight my Troll. Although I guess that they are probably going to be trying to fight the Berserker anyway. But like if I draw Lindworm or I draw like the 4/4 guy, Cavalry just represents more damage. I do get Fall of the Imposter. And Priest of the Haunted, whatever. Mirror Lake. We can make a copy of the Berserker. They're going to put another counter on the Skull. They're down to 1 card and 1 Foretold card. We can also just boast and make it 5/5, but we would be chump attacking with our Berserker, which I'm not really into. So I think we just attack with the Troll. Opponent probably has to chump. Dude is dead. We play Mirror Lake, and I think that if my opponent wants to fight my Troll, that's fine. And I'm not playing around the Sweeper. I didn't see a Sweeper game 1. It's possible that they do have it. It's possible that this is a Doomscar here, but I didn't see a Sweeper game 1. Doomscar is a rare. I'm not going to play around it. I'm just going to try to set up a lethal attack next turn. Replicating Ring doesn't do anything. So now we just have lethal? Doomscar or bust. That's blue, it's not white. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. 1-0. Deck's perfect. Mana worked out. See you for round 2. Welcome to round number 2 with this sweet, sweet snow deck that we put together. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna be greedy with this hand. We do have green and red mana, which are 2 of our main sources. Depending on what my opponent is doing, I'm gonna play this Berserker on 2, or I'm just gonna foretell the reinforcements. Like if I find the line, I think I'm gonna want to play Berserker so I can start hitting my opponent, particularly those who are on the play. My opponent says, they're telling me that they're not watching if I'm streaming, and I'm like, I'm not streaming, but I'm recording, so you will be in a video. Yeah, let's play Berserker. That kind of sucks. We didn't hit our land drop. It's not the end of the world, but it would have been great to hit a line drop there. Please don't kill my dude. Oh, they have Demon Bolt. Okay, there it is. I mean, there's not much that we can do here, right? Like, we're just gonna jam. Just gonna play more dudes past the turn. It's not like we have very many options. Get in there, folks. Damages. Yep. This is almost lethal. Hoping that they don't have the giant sweeper, because that would suck. But it's not like I cannot play the Seeker here, right? Yeah, it's not a the giant sweeper. It's not like I cannot play the sweeper there. They block there. Okay, so we're gonna fetch for a green source. So 1, 2. We're gonna fetch for a forest because we already have double blue. So we're gonna fetch for a forest. Then we're gonna frostbite. Opponent goes down to 4. Oh! I misclicked. Oh, wow, I just misclicked. Whoops. Well, I guess we lose now. I guess we don't necessarily lose. But now their Hagimov can actually kill my dudes. And they can play another blocker, so I'm not gonna be setting up lethal pressure. Yikes. Yeah, big yikes. That's brutal. That really sucks. That really sucks. Play more read copy of Berserker, I guess. You can copy your own lands? Wow, no, that's something I didn't know. Yeah, Now my opponent can start killing my things. Man, we really went from winning pretty handily to losing. Because even right now, if my opponent didn't have this Hagimov, that just opens up so many. Like this is just we just 2-4-0 ourselves. Like obviously that's just completely backbreaking there. So I guess we're just gonna hammer. And I misclicked again. God damn it! What's with me? What is with me? Obviously, I wanted to play the 5-drop, so if I draw another land, we could Troll plus Craven Hawk next turn. That was bad. Sorry, I apologize. I apologize. Mistakes were made. Easy take 7 here. Oh, I just have a second Lindworm. Okay, maybe we were not winning this game anyway. Maybe we're not winning this game anyway, but that's okay. We're just going to regroup. We're just gonna get our head back in the game again. I'm kind of interested in Skull Raid. Skull Raid, I guess, not School. Kind of interested in Skull Raid. Maybe over Frostbite. My opponent seems to have a lot of bigger dudes. Okay. Probably ship the cavalry here. This puts pressure if I draw a red source, so I'd rather get the reinforcements going. Can we please find land here? Not the kind of lineup I was hoping for, but it's better than nothing. Sure. We kind of have to find something here, because if this is a fight spell, we're in super rough shape. Red source. Big yikes. Big yikes. I guess I should have used one of these, left one of these up, because my opponent can potentially play around the +4/+4 trick. But I think my opponent's just gonna fight here, yeah. Just too good to pass up. Too bad. Too bad that our red source enter tapped. Big deal. Okay. Okay. Reinforcements. Pick. Say go. Next turn we can pick plus Demon Boulder dude. guess we're gonna demon bolt these two. I think I attack first. We offer the trade. We see what my opponent wants to do. Interesting. Okay. Definitely take that trade. And we pick the other one. Just pass the turn. That's why. That is why. That's awesome for us. That's so good because now we get to kill the Agar response. We get a nice little 2-for-1. If they had fought with this one, they would have been in a lot better spot. Because they would have forced me to trade with that guy. Trades opponent. Scald time. Just a 5-mana 4/4. But again, my opponent has some fight spells and stuff like that, so definitely I'm interested in being ahead on board here. And my opponent having no creatures in play. Double struggle. Double struggle. Okay. Land, please. Awesome. Landworm. Oh, they have their own worm, but ours is a 7/7. No big. I mean, yes, big. Exactly big. Precisely. This is why I've been so impressed with this stupid card. Like, equip 1. Like, it's basically free to equip, right? And then you just and then you just get to like slightly but exactly outsize your opponents. Now, what are they supposed to do? Like chump block here? Obviously not. But in a way, if they don't, next turn we get another 7/7 because our land turns into a dude. So, like, this is good. Like, now this survives squash. This survives everything. Okay, that's actually bigger. Never mind. Now they have the storm superiority, but then we're gonna have our own 7/7. Fear not. Our own 8/8, I mean. But then you can just like move the pick around. It's just so strong. That's probably my favorite thing about this set is the fact that like creature sizes matter now. Like, it's been a while since blue, blue, green, green, coalesce, copy this. Game 4. And equip there. I guess it's just great for like creature sizes to matter, you know? And for like a 4-mana, like a 6-mana 6/6 to be like actively a good card in the set. Like, we kind of have gone past this, like, ours. It's pretty funny. We drew our Svella, which is not bad. My opponent's down to 1 card. My opponent's down to 1 card. We have 8-8 versus 8-8 and 6-6 versus 6-6. Let's see what my opponent's got here. But like the fact that we have the pick means that even if they trade here, now they are at a disadvantage because I actually have 7-7. And this Vela puts my opponent on a very, very fast clock, as in they have to find an answer to this Vela very quickly, or just eventually I'm just going to win through card advantage. I think I'm taking this. We have another one. Ah! Wow. Crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I attack, they can throw the 6-6 in the mix. But I just trade with Svela. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're gonna get to activate Svela next turn. So I guess I would trade with Svela. And if they don't trade, I get a token and then I Svela plus Mentor and I can double block their dude. But they're gonna get the first Svela activation. But I think I can beat the 8-8. Particularly thanks to double block. So even if my opponent double blocks here, and they need to throw this Vela in the mix. So if they double block, I'm not gonna attack with the 6-6 because then I can set up a double block with the Mentor, but yeah, they can just throw something under the bus. That's also an option. But then I play my own Svela. I play Masked Vandal. And I move the pick over here. So now my opponent doesn't have a good attack because I can just double block with Vandal and Lindworm. So we're kind of in a little bit of a staring contest now. Oh, they top deck the land. Let's see what they spin into. Hopefully not something very good. So we probably can't beat something very good. That's pretty good. And that does count as something pretty good. They don't have good attacks though. Land. Okay. This is Vela battles. We're gonna see who finds an answer to their opposing Svela first. Hopefully it's us. We do have the fight spell. My opponent already has gone through 3 removal spells, so hopefully they don't have that many left in their deck. But I think that the pattern here is gonna be that we're just gonna be main phase flipping Svelas over and over again for the remainder of the game until somebody breaks the stalemate. So jealous of my opponent, they have backmate. Best common in the set. So good. I mean, my 3-2 for 4 mana kind of drew a card, right? If you really think about it. If you really think about it, right? It's basically like I drew a card, right? Interesting. So they did have the fight spell. Okay, so 1, 2, bunch of mana. Spin. We get yes. Whoops. Ernie slays the troll. Cast. And target creature you control fucks up to one target creature you don't control. So this creature that I control fights that creature that I don't control. We can't attack this turn, but next turn we can put 2 counters on this, and then we can start getting in there. This aura has been good. I like this aura. Our skull is gone, unfortunately. But now we're drawing 2 cards a turn, and my opponent's drawing only 1, so... Very interesting to me that they decided to kill the Lindworm instead of killing my Svella. It seems like Svella is just so much more important. This becomes a 10. I'll throw a 1/1. Oh wow. Well, that's big. Okay. Well, my opponent's deck is better than mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spin again. Very interesting game. This has been super blown away by my opponent not killing my Spella. Skull Raid. I keep saying skull. Skull Raid. Make them discard. We draw a card. Just pass the turn. Opponent has no attacks. We're gonna gain 10 this turn. We're gonna gain 10. No big. They just literally don't have good attacks, but like this Avalanche Caller is potentially a problem. We're gonna go up to 21, sorry. Above or starting life total on turn 14. Okay, my opponent's starting to feel the pressure. They're gonna make any sort of suicide attack of sort. Yeah, seems like it. Just right click attack all. So we block here and here and here. We take 7. Get rid of this guy. Yeah, we can't lose if we block like this, right? So my opponent just started to feel the pressure of this Vela, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But now they just have no pressure at all. This card is so good. These are some pretty good, pretty solid cards. Let's play Narfi, I think. Opponent probably can't beat this. We're at 14. Not even remotely close to dying. And now we are the ones that have them in champ block mode. Yeah. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Awesome. Really showcasing the power of Svella. Okay, what did we see that game that would make us want to make any changes? We saw Svella, which is a big deal, but there's nothing in my sideboard that really helps me in that. We saw Avalanche Color, which makes me want Frostbite a little bit more than I would otherwise want it. So maybe Frostbite is just better than Skull Raid. Skull Raid. I'm just never gonna pronounce that properly. I've given up already. So if you are annoyed by my by my pronunciation, I'm sorry, but it's not gonna change. Just have to accept it. We can move on. Masked Vandal looked pretty bad, so maybe we can do this. Sure, let's keep this. Basically, if I just find lands, I'm gonna be happy with this. Sweet, great start. Great start. We have the combo, removal plus these dude. I'm probably not gonna play the Dragon Necromancer until I have 5 mana, so I can play it and get some value immediately. So I'm gonna probably lead on Craven Hulk. Don't think I wanna kill this just yet. My opponent showed me multiple fight spells, but those fight spells gave +1/+1. So I'm just gonna play the Craven Hulk. If my opponent wants to trade effectively 2 for 1, I'm okay with that. Foretell a bunch of cards. Seems good. Next turn is when we're going to be given the option. Do we want to Necromancer plus hold up Bolt? Do we want to Kaldheim pick and start getting in there? Start developing our mana? Well, that answers the question. Of note, that was a hard cast Demon Bolt. That was not one of their foretold cards, so... Raven is one of the foretold cards. I guess they do have Squash. They do have Squash, so maybe I should have just not... Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Maybe I should have laid on the Dwarven reinforcements there. One, two, three. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is now a snow permanent, this is a snow permanent, and this is a snow permanent, so Frostbite should deal 3. Hey, my opponent showed... That's what I was gonna say. My opponent showed me Avalanche Color, so I think I want to save it for that. But I'm gonna do it here on end step, I think. Let's hope this works. Yes, it does. Awesome. And now we stabilize. Boom. Worm ya. This game's great. This game's great. I honestly have never seen the interaction between Frost and Glittering Frost and Frostbite. That's amazing. Rune of Flying was one of the cards. So we're gonna need to find something to do with that guy. We are on its 3-turn clock. One, two. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7. Okay, so what's gonna happen here? I don't want to expose my Dragon King Berserker, so I'm going to play Cavalry, just casually, no big deal. And we're going to play Dwarven Reinforcements, because I definitely want to go wide and start putting some pressure on my opponent so they can't go on the offensive. Next turn, if my opponent lowers their guard, what we can do is we can play Berserker, we can attack, we can get 1 point of damage here, or if we draw a land, and we can activate Berserker on the same turn. That's a bunch of mana. It's a Hagi Mob. Okay. Kill my dude. Okay, so my opponent's staring up the 2-turn clock here. We need a removal spell right now. Yeah, I guess that doesn't do it. Yeah, we're actually dead to the Hagi Mob because this deals 1 damage to any target at all. 7, 1, 2, 1, 2. So they can just ping face and then attack with Packmate. Oh man, we were so close. Just gonna die to a flying Packmate. Because if I had been able to haste, I would have had a flying blocker, which would have made all the difference, but as is. This is just what we got. Brutal. Alright, GG's. GG's. I'm gonna make my opponent see it though, obviously. They could, like, you know, get distracted by this guy, you know, and just sure fight my dude, whatever. Oh, that's actually lethal by itself. Never mind. Never mind. That's actually not a worst play, but and ping me for good measure. Alright, GG's opponent. GG's, well played. Well played. And that's why this is the best common in the set. Just randomly came down on turn 2 and gave my opponent an advantage. They had a body in play that they used to fight twice. By another one of the best commons in the set, by the way. Super efficient removal spell. And it also grows your dudes. Like if my opponent hadn't been able to grow my dudes, then I might have been able to win the race. To grow their dudes, sorry. I might have been able to win the race. And same thing if they haven't had a 3/3 body that replaced itself, right? So this card just always continues to impress, and I think that this is just going to be the best common in the set for the entirety of the format. You know, some cards, the more that the format, you know, evolves and stuff, the more that it changes and the more that people start adapting. Some cards kind of like shift around in people's rankings. I think this is just going to be the best common in the set for for the entirety of the format. This card is just insane. So if you ever see one of these, make sure that you pick it early and often. We'll be back for the third and final match. See you there. All right, we're currently 1-1 for the last round of this pretty sweet snow deck. It's not bad. I'm not hating it. The mana could use some work, but like we're doing well in terms of power level. Speaking of the mana not working, let's ship this hand. This one has better mana, and I have Behold, so I guess I'm gonna keep it. We can throw the Lindworm. I guess considering my hand, I'm gonna throw the Hammer, and the reason for that is that I think that the Lindworm is just a better card at catching me back up when I'm behind. So because of that, I'd rather have access to, even though it's a 6-drop, I'd rather have access to a card that will catch me back up better. We were talking about in the previous match about how good this card was. My opponent did receive the memo, apparently. Our mana is not working out particularly smoothly here. My opponent is not super far ahead just yet, and like that's kind of an irrelevant rune to put on the packmate, so it's not a big of a deal. Just Behold. I think I'm just gonna bottom both of these. Like I don't need random mana sources, I need green mana sources. Like that one. Too bad that I interstabbed. I could have suspended the Demon Bolt, but it's fine. My next turn I can weird. I would love to draw a shock here. Like if we can shock here, kill this guy. Another red source. I could play Horizon Seeker here and suspend Demon Bolt. Yeah, I guess I still don't know which one I want to kill, so I think I'm gonna play Horizon Seeker here and just suspend Demon Bolt. Puts me on board. Maybe my opponent won't take the trade. In reality, like I guess if they offer the trade, I'll take it, but I'm not particularly excited about getting it, taking the trade. But it can also. No, I think I would take the trade actually. Yeah, I think we're taking the trade here. Keeping life total high. That's pretty good. And it sucks that our mana doesn't function. Just gonna play Svella here. Pass the turn. Next turn we can make a token and play a Masked Vandal, I guess. Or an Arfi. And if my opponent has a fight spell, we get to Demon Bolt something. I think this is fine. Okay, taking one here. Green source. Masked Vandal being awesome. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. My opponent can, like, we're very opened up here to like to a bunch of nonsense like fight spells and whatever, but like if they fight the eyesight troll, like this is kind of fine, I guess. Like, and it's not the end of the world, but like that was gonna happen eventually. The poison doesn't matter until it matters, and it's probably gonna be a minute until it matters, so we're kind of fine here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna just use the landworm to stabilize. So we're just, this is just fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. RV. I know we just trade with this and we just get it back over and over and over again. I think we're actually in fine shape here. Unless they have the +7, the +4. The +4 pump spell. They just straight up sack the Finn. They realize it's not gonna do anything. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, we just saw it in the previous match, right? Like, this card is just so insane. Game number 2. My opponent did show me some crowns plus runes nonsense. So Broken Wings is interesting. I think I'd rather have Frostbite though. Maybe on the draw we don't want Carve. Like, the thing is that Carve actually just does fine at playing defense. I think I'm just gonna submit the same. Only a Rune Crown is probably not enough for me to want Broken Wings. Yeah, I think that this is just fine. I think that this is just fine. It's kind of crazy how the mana, like, it just doesn't work, right? But it's also not that out there. Like, I've been able to pretty reliably be able to cast my spells. Like, it's obviously it's the power of Svella and the power of this card right here. Probably gotta ship this. Man, finding lands. But it does move into 6 as well. I'm gonna go down to 5. Okay, there we go. Keep. We're gonna. I guess we're gonna bottom this and this. So now with any land, we have our end game, and we have like a 4/4 that we can use to block or to attack, depending on how things look. Black Greenies is definitely not the archetype where you want to, where you're actively looking to end up in, you know. It's weird. It's just, it's an archetype that is kind of not there. I think I'm doing Horizon Seeker here. Because once I trade with this Finn, I'm kind of good to resolve Svella. Did they miss it on the last turn? I'm actually not sure. Well, that answers the question. That's pretty bad for us, obviously. Particularly because now we're just gonna die to poison. Is it gonna be the first? Is this gonna be the first time that I die to poison? Yep, it's gonna be the first time that I die to poison. It's kind of cool. Kind of have like a poison themed deck over there. I still don't think that I want to bring any Broken Wings. Like, I'd rather just have all of my other cards, I guess. Sand has perfect mana and nothing else, but that's probably enough. Can't really underestimate how great perfect mana is. Now, how are we doing this? I think I'm gonna be playing Mire first, and then Mirror Lake. Okay. It's not looking good. And now we play Frost in this one. That would have been awesome to draw on the previous turn. Yeah, Ruined Crown with nothing in play. It's a lot better for us. Now we got a 5/1. That is fine. I think we serve. Okay, there's no way my opponent's attacking, right? Well, that's not something that I expected to happen. But I'm definitely happy that it did. Behold thy multiverse. I kind of want this one, but maybe I don't want this one. Now it's a one-turn question. Do you have the removal spell, opponent? It has to be right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They need the removal spell right now. If I get just one 5/5 out of this, I think that's gonna be game. Sweet. Let's wait for damage. Now that we're out of combat, we can do this, and we can play Floodplain. Pass the turn. All right. Play on. We play on. Masked Vandal is pretty good for them there. Here's my Masked Vandal. Nice run we got there. Would really suck if I were to get rid of it. Alright, we just gotta find business now. Opponent seems to be in the same spot that we are. Am I just frostbiting this? I kind of want to. Like if they want to use a removal spell on this, like we at least traded, you know, one of our bad removal spells for one of their okay creatures. I guess that we should have attacked first, now that I think about it. And I'm gonna hold on to both of these lands. The reason for holding on to the lands is because of Skull Wraith. And my opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Alright, we managed to get a 2-1. We managed to get a 2-1. So that is draft number 19 for me. And out of those 19 drafts, I have trophied 10 of them. So definitely keeping a solid win rate. There are a couple of things that I have learned about this format. Number one is that best of one in Arena, which if you watch the previous video that I made, the previous draft video, best of one on Arena, it's pretty terrible because sideboarding matters a lot in this format, even more so than in other formats that I have seen. That's why I said stuff like, you know, like Broken Wings is extremely good, but like the presence of sagas really makes it so cards that you would not normally pick up particularly highly, something like Disdainful Stroke, something like Annul. Like I have been winning matches against decks with like a bunch of extremely powerful stuff just on the back of like random sideboard cards like Broken Wings or Annul and stuff like that. So I think that playing best of three is more important in this format. Like, I always, under every single circumstance, I will always prefer to play best of three instead of best of one, because I just think that sideboarding is just one of the things that makes Magic so unique. But in this format in particular, I have gone like 2 and 3 in Arena with decks that were really like, they were 3-0 decks. Like, they are very, very good decks, but if you just, you know, like you don't have too much agency over whether you get mana screwed or whether, you know, your opponent has a bomb and like you don't have your answer, which you have 2 copies of in your sideboard, right? But you don't have your random answer to your opponent's bomb, and then you lose when, you know, you could very, very easily turn that matchup around with just like 1 or 2 sideboard cards. But since you're playing best of one, you just don't get that agency. You don't have that control over how you set up your deck. So I've been very, very impressed by the power of sideboard cards in decks like in formats like this, particularly because like Snow Mirrors can get super, super grindy, for example. So cards like, you know, this wasn't a great Master Skull deck, but like Master Skull becomes a really, really high pick if you have like 3 sagas going, or Skull Wraith becomes a very, very good sideboard card as well, because it has basically no downside. Usually previous effects like this that we have seen is like if your opponent just used all of their cards, you're kind of, you know, out of luck, you know. So this minimizes the downside because at least you get the card advantage in a way. So this is always going to be a 2-for-1. So because of reasons like that, it has felt like sideboarding is a lot more important in this format than in previous formats that I've been playing, like, you know, Ikoria or Zendikar and stuff like that. So basically my win rate on best of one is awful. Really, really bad. Like, I'm literally out of gems and out of gold completely. That's why today I'm drafting on MTGO, but also at the same time I'm drafting an MTGO because of what I'm explaining right here. Like, my win rate is significantly higher on MTGO because of the power of sideboard cards. And then, you know, you're misclick every now and then, like we had earlier today. But like, that's just gonna happen in both formats, so don't worry. That's not really a factor. But this format has been amazing so far. I counting both MTGO and Arena, I've done like 30 drafts so far, sorry, and it's been absolutely delightful. The more that I drafted, the more that I feel like I'm learning about it. If you watch my videos on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of drafts that I did. I've been doing really well with red white based aggro decks as well. I've been practicing how to draft those decks. I've been practicing how to draft Snow, which we kind of tried to do today, even though it didn't particularly work. I think this deck was like overall solid. But yeah, I strongly recommend you give it a shot. And yeah, if you do, of course, make sure you let me know. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this draft. We'll see you for the next one. And yeah, ice in our veins, baby.